Hey there, this is Michele Lamoureux, and today we're going to talk about how to be camera ready when you are doing a Zoom meeting, whether you're interviewing for a job, you are being interviewed on a podcast, you are meeting with a client, or just have an important conversation you are having via some form of video. And specifically, we are on Zoom today, and I have Heather Arnold, who is a makeup artist who works with she works in photo shoots and on weddings and brand strategy. And she's going to teach us how to be camera ready with our makeup, how to really look great. And I will tell you, both of us are using a ring light today. And I'm going to link the one that I use. It's large, but you can see it smooths out the skin. I'm not wearing any makeup right now. And because of the lighting, it's just so beneficial. So Heather, thank you for joining us today.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. And I just thought I'd add in like another fun thing that I did recently via Zoom is I found out that my sorority sisters were doing a Zoom happy hour like every 2 weeks. And so we all got together on Zoom, and I was really happy to know that I had my camera ready face on, since I haven't seen a lot of these people for a very long time.
Yes.
And so, you know, a lot of people are really using Zoom as a way to have social interaction. So another reason to know how to put your makeup on if you're going to be on screen.
Thank you for mentioning that. That's so true.
Yeah.
College friend reunions. And so, yeah, I'm all about looking your best, even if that's just throwing a little bit of lipstick on, a little bit of mascara, just a little.
Exactly.
But for something professionally oriented, you really do want to make a good impression.
Right. Exactly.
So take us through. We're going to get into this. Where do we start?
Well, first off, I'm going to clip my hair back because
I will
it's
too.
going to get in the way. And, you know, I would suggest, you know, also like as far as hair goes, like even Michelle, how you have your hair back like that, you know, if you don't have time to do your hair, at least pull it back into like a neat little ponytail or bun just to have it finished.
Yes.
Okay. And then the very first thing you want to do is prep the skin. So assuming that you already washed your face.
I have moisturized because I always after the shower. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. So as long as you have like your daily moisturizer, I also recommend an eye cream of any sort because it will make your concealer go on a lot smoother. So if you have anything that you could use as
I'll use my regular face lotion as the eye cream.
Okay, perfect. And you have the technique down. Yes, you want to use your ring finger because that's the gentlest finger. So way to go there. All right. And then the next thing I like to do is eyelash curler.
Yeah, I love my eyelash.
So taking eyelash curler, and one thing that will really speed up your process is to have everything you need organized and out in front of you.
Yep.
So moving into curling the lashes. So the technique that I like to use is I go all the way in as far as I can. I clamp the mascara curler, and then I kind of turn it up a little bit as though I'm curling my lash. And then I pump it 3 times.
You can see the difference.
So you take the eyelash curler, you go all the way in, then you see how I'm tilting my hand up like that?
Yeah.
And then pump it 3 times.
Yeah, that makes
beautiful, Michelle. I see a huge difference.
Yeah, me too. And just I'll note, I mean, it's obvious, but do they call these hooded lashes where you can't see? I don't like the term.
Oh, you mean hooded lids?
Lids. I said lashes. Yeah.
That is an expression. Yes.
Yeah, I don't love that term, but anyway, so it does make a difference because it kind of opens the eye up for those of you who are like me.
And so that's one of the biggest goals with camera ready makeup is to make the eyes stand out, because otherwise for most of us, our eyes kind of disappear. And that's really for most people what they want to be the focal point. So that's what one of the main things we'll be working on. So next I like to put on an eye primer, and there's so many different ones out there. But if you have no idea what an eye primer is and you don't want to know, then what you can do is just use a little bit of your foundation. So I'm just going to take, this is a little foundation stick I have, and I'm just going to put it onto my ring finger like so.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm going to go right onto the lid And a little goes a long way. You want to spread it out evenly. And I like to take it all the way up to the brow, and into the inner corner as well, because a lot of us have like a little blue area there, and you want to be sure to cover that up. So this is a situation where, you know, you're not going to be outside for hours on end. You're not worried about how well the makeup's going to stay on.
Yeah.
If you were worried about that, then you 100% would be using eye primer. And I can, you know, on a different show, I can recommend specific eye primers for different things.
Okay.
But there are some that are sweat proof, bulletproof, like they will, your makeup won't move.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
So
we're home, right? For this, we're home.
We're home. Okay. So you used that on your lid, and then
did.
you're going to jump into a powder. Okay. So preferably, I'm going to be using a loose translucent powder.
Okay.
So if you had something like that, I would say use it. If you don't, then you can just use any pressed powder. Okay. But I'm putting a little bit into the palm of my hand, or if you have like a nice little, you know, like a paper towel, you can dump it onto the paper towel.
One like this.
Yeah. Okay. So that's not loose, right?
No, it's not.
Okay. So you're not going to use your finger though.
Okay.
So with powder, you don't want to use a finger.
Okay.
With powder, whenever it's cream, you can get away with fingers. Powders, you really can't, because the finger isn't going to bring anything up. Isn't going to pick anything up. So I'm going to be using a very, very fluffy brush like this. And this is actually, before we even go in with the powder, you can take a sweep and just make sure that everything is blended in nicely, all of your foundation there. And then you take a little bit of the powder and you want to tap off the excess.
Okay.
And then we're basically just patting it onto the lid. So we're creating a really nice for our eyeshadow. So more than swiping, Michelle, you're going to pat it.
Pats. Okay. This is why you're teaching us.
I have to be honest.
I don't do much on my eyes, and I would like to do more, but because of the way makeup gets lost there, I tend to just curl the lashes and throw in some mascara. And that's it. If I'm going out, I might throw in some eyeliner, but so.
Okay, so I'm going to show you a technique that would work really nicely for your shape eyes. So now the next step, you basically can use any type of eyeshadow you want. It doesn't matter. Okay. If you have green eyes, lavender colors look really beautiful because it brings out the green. Brown eyes, you can pretty much use anything. A palette that I think would be really pretty on you, Michelle, is, can you see this? It's kind of like a, it's almost, it's like a rose color.
It's gorgeous.
So something that, this is Charlotte Tilbury.
Yeah, that's really
And then it has a couple sparkly colors and a lighter color. So these little quads are nice because it's like one-stop shopping, no brainer. You know that these colors look good together. Okay. But any sort of matte color. So
I have this one by Tarte, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's see.
Tease.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's so similar.
Yeah, and I got this because it's a tiny kit, and I was like, well, I don't use it very often, so let me have something in case. And I bought these. I'll link these. I bought these from Sephora. It was not an expensive kit.
Oh,
they're fantastic. They're fantastic.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. Okay, so let me see the Tarte. I want to see the colors in there.
Okay.
Oh, I think I have that one. What is the name of it?
It's called Tartlet Tease.
Oh, okay. I have their other one. It's called Tartlet also. So open that up again. Okay, so you're going to take, I want you to take the third one on the top, the darkest one on the top. Yes, because I think you'll be more comfortable with that and more than than the one on the bottom. But do you see what I mean by matte? Do you notice how that one doesn't have a shimmer to it?
So let's broaden it. So whoever's watching, whatever you have. So we did a light base, and now we're going to be contrasting. It looks like with a darker one. Which brush ideally would we use? The big one again.
And it doesn't have to be this big.
Yep.
So any sort of fluffier crease brush is what I would suggest. And so yes, to broaden it for everyone, we want a matte color. It can basically be anything
Okay.
you want.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to use color. So now I'm taking this and I'm bringing it. Do you notice how I'm keeping my eyes open?
Yeah, I was noticing
It's
that. I'm
not,
gonna watch
it's
you.
not just because I want to see what I'm doing, but it's also because I want to make sure I'm bringing the shadow up high enough onto the brow bone
Okay.
so that
I'm
you
gonna
can
use this mirror.
see the, so that you can see the
I
makeup.
might have put too much. Hold on.
Okay, so really super important is you
Yes.
want to tap off the
Okay.
excess
Well,
always.
this is why it's good to have somebody who doesn't know what they're doing also do it to show.
Yes,
We can
perfect.
all learn.
You guys can learn from Michelle's mistakes.
That's correct. That's
Okay,
right. We learn
so
from each other. I'm going to tap now.
the
Oh yeah,
the
there was a
best
ton on
technique.
there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And the best technique to use is it's called windshield wiper,
Mm-hmm.
but I also am doing this circular motion. Do you see that?
Did I do a good job there? I feel like on that side I did better. Or no?
I would go up a little bit higher.
Oh,
and
higher
look
than that.
So I like to look straight ahead in the mirror
Okay.
and windshield wiper and then this little circular motion. That's
Okay,
what's going to
okay.
help you blend.
I think I need to watch what I'm doing.
But still, first just worry about the windshield wiper because you want to get the placement down and then you
Okay.
worry about the blending.
Do you do all the way over or just halfway?
It all depends on the shape of the eyes
Yes.
and personal preference. What I like to do is when I go in, the
Mhm.
first place I go in is this outer portion because that's where I want most of the shadow to be deposited.
Yeah.
And then I kind of just blend the excess into the inner corner.
Okay, great.
And it's just makeup. So like if you make a mistake, it's not that big of a deal, you know, like, and I know you're really
Totally.
big with your Q-tips.
I do
'Cause
like
I remember
that.
that from last time.
I know I do because if I put too much, it's so simple to just, and it's gentle and soft. So I like it. I do.
Okay, that looks really good, Michelle. What do
Okay.
you think? Do you
I
notice
like
how
it.
that in
It made my
itself-
eyes more awake. And like
Yeah,
more,
because you
yeah.
know you lifted your socket line. You're creating a
Ah.
socket line there for you.
It does help, I will say. I mean, I'm trying to do this on camera. Obviously, it helps to be looking in the mirror like you were doing. So
Yes, I would suggest having some sort of mirror to, because it's really hard to use the screen as your mirror.
totally. And that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so next you're going to jump into one of those more sparkly colors.
Okay.
And you're going to use, is there a brush in that kit that's something like this?
I do have that now. I have this one or this one.
Use the first one.
This one?
No, the first one you held up. Yes,
This one.
perfect.
Okay.
Okay. And you and I have a really similar color. The bottom, actually on your shape eyes, I think it's best to keep the lid light.
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm going to suggest is that you use that, you mix the top color and the bottom, actually just use the bottom
This one?
row all the way to the left.
This one?
Yep.
The soft one. And
Yeah.
generally speaking, for people who don't have deep set eyes or whatever they call this, what would they do?
Basically anything you want, but I'm going to use one of these sparkly colors on my lid.
Okay.
So it doesn't, anything in the mid range. So it's like lighter than what you used in your crease.
Yeah.
But for someone that, is concerned about having hooded lids, they definitely want to use a light color on the lid.
Yep.
Okay. And then you're just going to pat it. So do you
Pat
see
it.
how I'm patting and swiping?
Yes, I do.
So that's the technique that you want to use on your lid.
All the way over, or am I covering up that darker color?
So what I like to do is I'm going to use it about, I would say 2/3 of the way across my lid. So just before I get into that outer corner.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see that okay.
I can. Yeah. Looks good.
Okay.
Okay.
And then you could take a little bit of that light color and kind of pull it into the inner corner also. I'm going to jump into my lightest color to do that, but I'm just going to bring it right here in that inner, I have like this little pocket right in the inner corner of my eye.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nice to have a little light highlight there to brighten
Agreed.
up the eyes.
I went to the lighter one too. I'm not using that
Okay, good.
other one.
Oh, that looks so pretty, Michelle.
Thanks.
And
You
I
can see it?
love how you kind of pulled the color out to the corner. You did that more than I did, and that looks really pretty.
It wasn't
Pulled the
intentional.
shadow out. So everyone can play with placement,
Yeah, that was not
this-
intentional. I think I just had too much on the
Oh,
brush.
it
But
looks good. So
okay,
you
good.
can play with pulling the color out to the corners, but we could do another tutorial on technique per
Yeah,
se.
yeah.
This is
This
just,
is like, you got to get ready. Let's learn how to do
Okay.
this and then know how to get on that call because
Okay.
you could have kids and little toddlers or
Yeah.
the older person or another call right after and you don't
Right.
have time. So I love Hilary Duff, but she did, I forget if it was one of the magazines. I don't know if it was Vogue or something. It was like her quick morning routine. It was 45 minutes. And I thought,
Oh, yeah.
as a mom,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of
Right.
steps that I don't know. I think a lot of the millennials do, which the contouring that I think our generation.
Well, that's the one thing though with Zoom, contouring is important.
important?
But
Okay.
I'm going to show you a way to do it that's suitable for your face shape.
Okay.
Because there's been a misconception about contouring. Okay,
Okay.
so now I'm going to use a eyeliner. So what
Okay.
eyeliner do you have that you
I
like?
have, I mean, let's just talk color. I mean, black is okay or not?
I think black is excellent.
And I also have this purple.
So purple is beautiful also. And I kind of feel like using purple today.
Can you see
even
it?
though, yes, that's really pretty.
Okay, it's like an eggplant. It's a deep purple.
Yeah, so let's do
that's
that.
the color.
Because I love it. Okay, so I have one that I was thinking of using also that's eggplant. So I think I'm going to use mine.
Yeah, this is eggplant.
As well. And first step that's really important, believe it or not, is sharpening your pencil.
This one I can't, but if I had it, it doesn't allow for that. This is like
it's a retractable.
Yeah.
That's even better because those stay sharp.
Okay.
So you don't have to sharpen this. So for me, well, if I'm working on a client, obviously I have to sharpen my pencils because that's that's how we clean them.
Of course, for hygiene.
Right, but it makes it go on easier.
Yeah, that's very pretty. Now, whose brand is that?
So this is Urban Decay.
Yeah.
And it's called Rockstar, and it also
color.
has a little bit of a purple undertone. So you want something dark. That's the most important thing.
Okay.
Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to hold it on its side. So you don't want to use your pencil like this. You want to kind of sweep it on the side.
Okay.
And I personally like to get really, really close to my lash line because this is going to define the eyes and make the lashes look longer.
Yes. All right, I'm going to hold up my mirror and do this. It's going to be easier.
And then
you can watch
if you want, you can go a little bit like thicker on the outer portion.
Yeah.
Like as you get towards the end of the lash line, but it's not essential.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I'll just see if you can see a difference. This eye versus yours are very much popped. Yours is significant.
And you know what else I like to do a lot? And if you're comfortable with it, is I like to take the liner and run it along, this is called the water line. So if you have really sensitive eyes, you're probably going to want to skip this step. But if you don't, it's really another great way to really make a huge difference in how the eyes stand out. And as we get older, the eyeball shifts, believe it or not, and we get more of that membrane along the waterline. So when you darken it up, it really makes the eyes stand out much more.
Okay.
So we're just kind of getting as close to the lash line as possible. And then there's another step you can do after this, but I know we're trying to make this quick.
I think that's the thing. It's like, where do you get the most bang in a short amount of time?
This is essential. So just using an eye pencil, that's where, you want to just make sure. Yeah. And then I'm going to go along that water line. Nice. And then I'm also going to I like to wait to do underneath the eyes till after we have the concealer on. So we're going to wait on that. Okay. So we're done with the eyes.
Yeah. Okay. I'll ask you after. Go ahead.
Oh, you can ask me whatever.
No, I was going to say I stopped doing under my eyes many years ago when I was younger, my 20s and 30s. I used to align the top and the bottom. And then I just started just focusing on the top with some mascara, and I stopped doing.
Yeah, well, what I was going to say when we get there is we can use a little eyeshadow underneath just to kind of finish it off.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're going to use our foundation of choice, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
There's so many, different options out there. I know you have the Trish McAvoy water foundation, right?
Yeah.
And that's lovely.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use something with sunscreen because I'm going to be probably running a bunch of errands later.
Yeah. I have one with sunscreen too.
I'm going to use the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue. It's basically a tinted sunscreen.
Okay.
And I really like it a lot.
Okay.
And for this, I like to take a little bit out on the back of my hand.
Yeah. Okay. That's funny. I just did that. I don't know why.
Perfect.
Maybe because we've done this before. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. And then you want to take your foundation.
I'm using a tinted one. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but this is a Shiseido one too.
Oh, perfect. And then you have a great, is that the Trish? Oh, that's an awesome foundation.
I don't know whose this is. I can't remember, but anyway.
That's great. So then we want to work the product into the brush first, like really work it in.
Okay.
And then we're going to go onto the skin. And it's that same, it's kind of that patting and swiping motion. And as far as color goes, it's personal preference. I mean, if you can either match it to your décolleté or, I personally like my face to look, like it's not having much sun on it. So I like to have a little bit of a lighter finish. And I know you're the same, Michelle.
Yeah,
right?
I do.
And then, so if you don't have much discoloration under the eye, you can take your foundation and just bring it under there and call it a day. You don't even have to put on concealer. I personally have a lot going on under my eyes, so I'm going to do a really quick step to help with that. But if you don't have any circles or anything that you want to hide under there, then just leave it.
Okay.
Just use your foundation. I'm going to use a little of this is the Trish McAvoy Eye Lift.
Okay.
And I'm just going to brighten a little bit just here in the areas where I have these shadows.
Okay. I find when I do that, it accentuates any lines. It
creases.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I tend to not do that.
Yeah. Well, that's where eye cream is a really important first step because the eye cream is going to hydrate the area and make your concealer go on a lot smoother.
I see. Okay. So I could try. Okay.
Okay. So now we want to finish off below the eyes. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a brush like this. Has a little tip on it.
Is it like this one?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
That's great.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take the color I used on my lid first, and I'm just going to sweep that in from the center of the eye about halfway.
The light one?
Yes.
Or the dark one? The light one. Yeah.
The one you used on your lid, whatever that may be. I mean, you could actually on this step, Michelle, you could use one of the other sparkly colors on this step that was a little bit darker. So one that kind of mimics this one. That
Where are you lining it? Just right under the eye?
Yes, from the inner corner to like the center.
Okay. And are you doing your eyeliner there? Is that your eyeliner?
Yeah.
So first you do this.
No, I'm not using eyeliner.
Oh, I did that. Eyeliner. Okay, I see.
And now I'm going to use my darker color and I'm going to do it from the outer corner in.
That's a brush. That's not a.
This is a brush.
Eyeliner. It looks like an eyeliner pencil. That's why I asked.
Yeah.
You. Okay.
It's actually called a pencil brush.
Okay. Outer corner in. Outer corner in. Okay.
Okay. Our eyes are coming alive. So now we're going to grab our mascara of choice.
Yeah.
Whatever that may be.
Yes.
I happen to have the Trish McAvoy tubular mascara handy. So that's what I'm
Okay.
using today.
Okay.
And my favorite trick with this is to take it to the base of the lash and kind of wiggle it, because that's where you want most of the mascara to be deposited, is at the base of the lash. And then you kind
Okay.
of just work it up to the tips.
Work it up to the tips.
And make sure you get those little lashes that are on the inside also.
Yeah, those are. Okay. Yeah, that
And
makes a
mascara is
difference.
a game changer.
Yeah, I love mascara.
And so if you love mascara, Michelle, I would suggest doing 2 coats.
Do you put it back in when you do the other eye?
Yes.
Okay, because I didn't do that and I'm realizing there's not that much on here.
Oh, and one good technique for when you put it back in is to twirl it instead of pump it. Because when you pump it,
Yeah,
it adds
clumps.
more air
Yeah.
to the, so I don't know if you already knew that, but
No, that's a great tip. I didn't know that. And I'm covering my face, but I need you to see.
that's okay.
They can see you. That's more important.
Well, I mean, you can spend a lot of time on your mascara, but like
Yeah.
we said, we're trying to not
We're
really,
being
we're trying to
realistic.
yes. So, maybe if you're going out at night, you're going to spend a little bit, well, we're not going out really right now, but if you're doing your social Zoom, maybe you're going to spend a little more time on your social Zoom than your
Yeah.
business Zoom.
Yeah.
You just want to look put together.
Yeah.
No one's going to really notice that much. How much, if you spend a little bit more time on your mascara. Okay, so then I am a big fan of doing the lower lashes.
Okay.
It's personal preference.
I'm going to do a little bit. I'm going to do a little, unless you think I shouldn't with my shape eye.
I think you should.
You think I should?
I think for most people, it's great. The only time I would say you don't need to is if you have like minuscule amount of lower lashes and it's like, why bother? Then I'd say skip this step. Some people complain they say when they put lower mascara on that their mascara smudges.
Mhm.
And that usually has to do with using like too much eye cream. And so you're really creamy under there, and then it can cause the mascara to smudge. But
how funny. I haven't done my lower lashes and I can't even tell you.
it's nice, right?
Yeah, maybe like 20 years easily.
I think it really makes the eyes look bigger. That's my take on it, but I know everyone has their own opinion. But it's big right now doing the lower lashes.
It is, that's it.
Yeah. Okay, so next what I like to do is we're going to use a little bit more powder, unless you have like really, really dry skin, but the powder is a great way to set your foundation.
Okay, which brush are you going for again?
I'm using a very, very fluffy brush to do this.
Okay.
But you don't have to. You can
I have one.
Okay. Because you could use something a little smaller too. Yeah, that's more of a blush brush.
It is.
Do you have anything fluffy? Actually, that size.
I have this, but I use this for my blush. You can see it on there already, so I can't use that.
The one you
and I have this.
Yeah, use that.
Okay. I'll make sure it doesn't have anything on it.
Let me just see it real quick. Just hold it up again. Go like that. Yes, that's great. Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to take a little bit. I'm going to use that translucent powder that I had from before, and you're going to use whatever powder you have.
Okay.
And the first thing we're going to do is just take it down the center of the face and underneath the eyes, especially if you used foundation.
Okay.
And that's it.
So you pat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you have a small face, so like smaller brushes work nicely. And then do a little bit just right here. Yes, perfect. Okay, great. Next is contouring.
Okay, which I don't do normally.
Do you have a little bronzer that you could use?
I do.
Okay, great. So you're going to use your bronzer.
Okay, which brush is that?
So the body brown brush. Yep.
Okay. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, you recognized it. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to use, this is a contour palette.
Yeah.
And this is the color that I'm going to use. And I don't know if you could tell, but it's a cool brown. You're going to use that, which is fine. That's more of a bronzer, but
It is.
it's fine for your purposes. But if you
Yes.
ever wanted to really get into it, you
Yeah.
would get color that was a little more ashy. This is
Yeah.
like more of an ashy, because
Okay.
what we're doing is we're creating shadows.
Okay.
That's the whole idea. And for video conferencing, Zoom, what have you,
Yeah.
it's really nice to have that. So
Yeah, I will say I was watching one last night and the host was, her makeup was flawless. The guest came on and she looked like she had dark circles to here because of the lighting. She didn't have any
yeah.
good lighting and
Well, and
somehow, yeah, go ahead.
very good point, because when you turn on your lights from up above,
Yeah,
immediately it casts shadows underneath the eyes. So lighting 101, try to keep the overhead light at a minimum and have
yeah,
all of your light coming at you.
yes,
But
yeah.
that's
And my light is behind this, my computer.
yeah,
Even though
perfect.
I have natural light behind me, ideally you don't want that, but it's,
Right.
I'm okay because I have the big ring light. I did do an Instagram live and I had that, which is what made me go, oh yeah, I know about lighting and I didn't do it. And it makes a difference because you don't want to detract from the conversation. And it was very distracting.
Yeah. Okay, so the contouring is very involved, and I know we don't have time for it, but you want to, it's contouring is different for every face shape. Okay, so you have a very small, narrow face. I have like a square face in a sense. So I'm trying to offset some of that squareness with the contouring. For you, you have those amazing cheekbones. So you're going to take your contour and it's going to just go right below your cheekbones.
Here.
Yep, perfect. That's perfect.
Okay.
And I'm just going to contour like I had your face.
Okay.
That looks so good. So you're going right below your cheekbone, right?
Yes.
Yes, that's excellent. And then you're not going to do this step, but I have this square jaw. So I'd like to take a little bit of my contour and run it along my jawbone.
Okay.
And then your forehead's perfect. Mine's a little wide, so I'm going to take it just right. So your contour goes wherever you want to detract.
Oh, really? Is that the idea?
You actually have kind of a large forehead. So for you, Michele, you would take it right here.
Oh, here?
At the top of your forehead. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so that's all we're doing with contouring.
It's where you want to detract. I think that's the important takeaway. You add where you want to detract.
Yep.
Okay.
It's
there we
called,
go.
You're pulling away.
Unless, did I put too much or is it okay?
No, it's awesome.
Okay.
Okay. So next we are going to do blush.
Yay, I love blush.
Everyone loves blush.
I do love a little blush.
I have an idea. So a very youthful way, if you're, I don't know, it depends on your age. So, or your skin type. If you're oily, definitely use a powder blush. Something, I would say you want to use a warm color like this one right here. This is like a warm pink. That's a really good one. If you're in your, if you're 45 plus and you're looking to have more of a dewy finish, then you can use a cream blush, and that's very youthful. That's what I'm going to use.
Okay. I do not have one, so I'm going to use this Tarte.
Perfect. Okay. That's great.
You used this when I did my headshots.
So. Oh, I love that. That is awesome. Yeah, and you want to use that one brush that you showed me. Yes, I love
this. It's so soft too. I'll link everything on the bottom.
Okay, good.
I just think it's easier because.
Yeah, and if you want to know anything I use, let me know.
Yeah.
And you can link mine too.
Okay.
I'm actually going to use a really, really bright pink.
Can we see it?
Yeah. So it's this color right here.
Wow, I love it.
And with the cream blush, you want to put it on the back of your hand for sure to kind of warm it up.
Yeah.
And then you can use, you really can use any type of brush, any type of blush brush you want. I love the one Michele has.
Yeah, I don't even know. I'll have to see what it is.
I'm just going to use, this is kind of a small brush, but it's okay because I have a smaller face also. And you just want to get the product onto the brush. And then you're going to take it. So a rule of thumb is you don't want the blush to go beyond the pupil, the center of the pupil of the eye. So it should start here and go out. And for most people, we like to bring it onto the cheekbone because it just accentuates the cheeks.
Okay, so this is one rule that I never follow for my face.
Okay, because your face is really narrow. So for you, I would just put it on the apples.
I do.
I
go
think you
right to
should.
the apples, and I can go up a little bit.
Yes,
I've learned.
I agree with you.
I had my makeup done when I was younger, and the woman did this, and it made my face look
even thinner.
Yeah,
So
it made it look weird. So
I think the way you're doing it is perfect.
yeah, but
I just
most
need to-
people would be
Sorry.
going what you said, right? No, do what you need to do with the mirror.
I
and
was
the
just
lights.
moving it. In
I
front
love
of
the
me.
color. I have to say that's stunning.
It's a little bright, but
Oh, I
I'm gonna
like
blend
it. I
I'm
like
gonna
that.
make sure I blend it in a little bit better. But
Mhm.
so first you apply and then you worry about making it seamless because you never
Okay.
want to see where it started and where it ended.
Got it.
So it's really important to blend, and you want to make sure that your bronzer or your contour just kind of fades into your blush.
Oh,
So
good.
it's like,
That's right, because it's there too. I forgot that that's
yeah,
there.
so you don't want to be able to see any like borders.
Lines. Yeah. What's the trick with the blending? How do you blend? Is there
So-
like, what kind of emotion is it?
Okay, so I like to just very lightly, once you get into the blending, it should be just a very light. And one nice trick with blush is you can grab your, if like I feel like I got a little too much, so I'm going to take my foundation brush
Okay.
and I'm going to kind of just diffuse it.
Can I ask a question that I think other women are going to
Sure.
relate to? You put it on, looks fantastic.
And
4
then it
hours
fades.
later, 3 hours later, and you're like, did I put any on? Like it
Yeah,
might seem a
so-
little much at first, and then you're like,
Yes.
oh, but I know it's going to be gone. So
Well, blush is the first thing to just to fade.
Mhm.
So like with my clients when they're having their photos taken. So one thing that really helps is to start with a cream blush and then to go back over it with a powder.
Got
Because
it.
then you're really locking it in. It's gonna, the staying power is going to be much greater.
Okay.
That's what I would suggest in that case, is to start with a cream and then go back in with a powder blush, and then you're really locking in that color. Obviously something that complements it.
I'm just going to stop us for 1 second. Think back to the beginning of this video without makeup, and now just this few,
I know.
whatever it's been, 10, 15 minutes.
It's amazing, right?
And it's amazing. There's life to the face, there's warmth, there's, I love the color palette you're using. And I also love the color you're using, like the shirt you have on. Is it purple? Like
It's navy, but it's
it's
a
navy.
it has, it's a purple navy. Cause like when I put it with my other navy things, it doesn't go. So it
beautiful.
definitely is.
It's
Thanks.
working. And I think, color we'll get into with, I have a stylist coming on to talk, but
Oh, I
warm
can't wait.
and like emerald colors really popping certain complexions, which it's gorgeous on you. So,
Yeah.
okay, next
Well,
step.
and I looked really drawn. I looked a little washed out when we started because it is so cool. But once you put makeup with it, it
Yeah.
looks great.
Looks
Okay,
beautiful.
so let's do our lips. I know we're
Okay.
going to do our brows also. Oh, I know you have that really pretty Trish McAvoy lip color.
I don't have it right now.
Okay, what do you have?
I'm trying to think. And I have Aquaphor. I always have something to moisturize my lips.
Okay, great.
So I'm going to should I pat it dry, or do we want it on my lips? Because right now you see shine. That's me.
Let's
with
pat it dry,
Mhm.
because let's say, well, you asked the question about long wearing, and
Mhm.
if you have something really sheer underneath your lip
Mhm.
product,
Yeah.
it's not going to stay on as long.
Okay.
So why don't we pat that dry? But
This is
that's
a very.
great.
Oh, sorry, please.
I was just going to say that's a great idea to apply your lip balm
Yeah.
at the beginning of your makeup application. So by the time
Yeah.
you get to the lips, it's absorbed.
Yeah. And for anyone who gets cold sores, if you haven't learned the trick, you keep your lips hydrated. I very rarely get them ever. I haven't got one on my lips in many years, but I sleep with Aquaphor. It's not the healthiest product, but it helps. And so I always have lipstick, and this is like a day one that I like from Clinique. It's very natural, but it's more pinky. It says fig or something. It says fuller fig, but it's more pinky when it goes on. I
Okay, great.
have this color,
Ooh, that's gorgeous.
but it won't, it'll show up differently on me than somebody with a lighter complexion. And then I have a more, that's more like a strawberry. That's too bright, maybe.
Yeah, that's a little bright for now.
I agree.
That fig color looks gorgeous.
The fig one you liked?
But what was I didn't notice the second one.
No, this was the second.
That one I like also.
Okay, so we could do that one instead of the fig. Okay.
Okay. So I am actually, I'm going to teach you guys a technique to make your lips look fuller.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to take a nude pencil.
Mhm.
And do you have a lip liner of some sort?
Yeah.
Okay.
I never use it, but I do have it.
Really, I think lip liner makes a huge difference.
I'm sure they're great. I
Make
just
your lipstick stay on longer.
Yeah.
And you want to sharpen that first too, because it'll make it easier to apply.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh,
so
I do
now,
have one.
oh, good.
I'm more prepared than I realized. Okay. Here we go. That's super sharp.
Good.
I'm ready. Okay.
Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to create that V in the middle, whether you have one or not. So that's the first thing you focus on. And then you're going to go up to the tip of the Cupid's bow. And then you're going to hold your pencil at an angle and you're going to go down the side. And then down the other side or up the other side if it's easier. And don't be afraid to apply pressure when you're doing this. And do you see how I'm resting my pinky on my chin? And that kind of makes it easier to steady the hand. So then the next part is you're going to come to the lower lip and you go straight down from the Cupid's bow. You can even make a little mark there and go straight across. And again, I'm holding my pencil at an angle. And then go from the outer corner down. Down.
How's that? This is a very,
Great.
very, it almost matches, maybe, I don't know what color it is. It's almost brownish.
And then I'm going to, okay, so now we're just going to color in, well, for me, you're going to color in the whole lip. Since I'm doing this, I want to do like kind of more of a full lip. I'm just coloring in the outer corners.
What color are you using? It's pretty.
This is a Charlotte Tilbury and it's called Iconic Nude. It's a warm brown.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Okay, so now I'm going to take a nude color, but you're going to do the color you're doing. So I just recently put together, this is like I took all my lipsticks and put them in this little palette here.
Wow.
So that it's really easy for me to see what I have. And then I can mix and match when I'm working with clients that might, but I kind of liked that pink, but oh well, I could have used the same pink I used on my lips, but now I'm doing nude. So I'm just going to take one of the nude colors and you could just put yours straight on.
And when you do it though, do you actually go like this, Heather? Or do you do this?
Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to start, do I have a lip brush? Oh yeah, I do have one. Okay, so you're going to start at the top. Well, let me grab my lip brush and then I'll take
and I do not have a lip brush, so I'm going to be.
Oh, that's okay. No, that's fine because that's your lipstick. So
yeah, you have
can go
the
straight.
creaminess you're in that palette now, and I'm going to end up drinking and getting my lipstick on the cup.
Okay, so here's my lip. Okay, so
yeah,
you take either your lip brush or your tube, and the first thing you do is you come into the inner corner and you stay along the ledge or along the lip line and bring it up to the tip.
Okay.
And then you do the other side. And again, I'm resting my pinky.
I'm laughing at myself.
And then you can kind of fill in. And then do the same on the bottom. So I start in the outer corner, I stay along the lip line. And then I do the other side.
I'm laughing because I'm using the Zoom as my mirror here, which is probably not ideal.
That's hard.
Yeah.
So this color is a little light for me, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do.
And do you recommend this? The lips together
Yeah,
or no?
I do.
Okay.
I mean, you don't want to like really smudge them a lot.
Yeah,
but you can kind of press them together.
Yes.
And
yeah, I
then
like this color. I don't wear it that often.
You can even open your mouth and make sure you got like the inner corners. And so this is like too light for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that same pencil. Actually, I'm going to take one that's similar. Hopefully I still have it.
What is it? I love watching makeup videos. I don't watch them often, but there's something about watching makeup go on that's actually relaxing.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I love it.
So
I mean,
we may have
especially
gone, yeah, sorry, I was gonna say we may have gone beyond 15 minutes, but hopefully not only are people learning something, but it's kind of, I think it's relaxing. And then
I do too.
If they like a color, well, they'll know what color it is. Saves you time. Anything that saves a woman time, I'm all about that, especially a busy mom.
So I'm just taking this other color, and adding it in, just give me a little more color. But then I'm going to use a little gloss also to finish this off. You don't have to. This is the extra step. I just decided I want to show you guys like how to make the lips look fuller.
I do love a gloss, but sometimes there's thick. So I wouldn't use Aquaphor then as a gloss.
You can. So I'm just going to put it, do you see how I just put it in the middle of my lip? And the middle of the upper lip.
I know you're laughing at my Q-tips.
Yes. You and your Q-tips.
I'll
never forget that.
That's it. I like it. Handy tool.
That looks great. And then the only thing we haven't done is the brow.
I was thinking about that and grabbed this because I was like, oh, I wonder if I need to kind of.
Yes. First you want to comb them out.
Let's talk about finding the right color, because I don't know that I did get the right color when I got this, when I feel like it might be too light. Or maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. It's dark brown. This is dark brown.
Good. Okay, good. Because you can handle a dark color.
Yeah, no, I didn't know if it was dark enough, but yes, it's dark brown.
Yeah, if it's dark brown, that pretty much you can trust that it's going to be dark enough. The one I have is also, this is Natural Brunette by Trish McAvoy.
Okay.
This is pretty dark,
Okay.
but it's empty. So let me see. I think I have another one over here.
And do we comb it first?
Always.
Have one?
Always. So you want to comb up.
Yep.
And this is actually a natural, so it's a little too light for me, but I'm going to use it anyway because it's handy. And then what I like to do is this is a magnifying mirror. And the first thing I do is I go along this little ledge, the first ledge along the bottom.
On the bottom.
And then I go straight up towards the arch.
You defining the shape of the brow?
Edge.
Yeah,
Yes.
the edge.
And then I go to the tail, and you never want the tail to go beyond the outer corner of the eye when you hold your pencil like this.
Okay.
Yeah. And then what I do is I go up above, and I just make sure, like on this brow, it's uniform, and you can even create more of an arch if you go above the brow bone. I mean, above the brow.
is the goal to be filling in to create evenness, or, because now I feel like I've made my brow much larger than it is. That was
Now
not
you're going to
intentional.
go
Is that
back
okay?
in. I think for your face, your brows are a little on the thin side.
Yeah.
So I definitely would make them thicker. I think your face can handle a heavier brow personally.
Yeah.
So then you can go back in with little tiny like strokes and mimic like hair strokes to color it in.
Okay. I probably should have been paying more attention to the mirror than the thing, but I don't know.
And then then this is when I go in and I just kind of, if I have any sparse areas. But even though I use the lighter pencil, I think it still works.
Say that again, even though you use.
I used a lighter pencil, but I think it still does the trick.
What's better? What's recommended?
I think most people like to have darker brows. Like whenever I use a pencil that's too light on a client, they always, I mean, in most cases say, please make them darker. So I think in general, people like to have a darker brow. So I always do that same step. I start on this bottom edge, and then I work my way up towards the arch and down to the tail, and then I go up above, and
where's my brush?
Make sure I have a nice arch there, and then I go back in and just fill in any sparse areas. And then, you know, you can always use a brow gel if you want, but I think for Zoom purposes, you don't really need a brow gel. No one's going to be able to tell that your brows are, you know, not laying flat.
I think this is great. And then hair, get it ready to go, right? I mean, you just,
for hair, my hairdressers, they call it zhuzh it up. They call it zhuzhing it. So you just kind of add a little body.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if that's what you want.
Yeah, this has been fantastic. Oh, go ahead. I was going to say, Heather, so let's say somebody's like, this was great. Give me your 5, if I only had time for like 5 quick things, what are your 5 must-haves?
Okay. So the first most important step is curling your lashes.
Okay.
I know that sounds silly, but really, I mean, I think we noticed on both of us that that's going to open up your eyes right away. And then I would use, you know, your foundation is, you know, you have to have some foundation, and that can also go on your lids. So foundation includes lids, and you can use it as your concealer as well, you know, if you're not concerned about any dark circles. So that's 2. The third step would be eyeliner. The 4th is mascara. And then the 5th.
We can go 6, because I feel like you for sure need blush, and you for sure need lipstick.
Yep.
Yeah. Great. And that you could do easily in like 5 minutes. What you just
talked about. And I was going to say, you can even use the same product you're using on your cheeks, on your lips, you know?
Yeah, there's so many of those products out there. This was so great. I mean, then now you're camera ready. If you can remember, if you go back to the beginning, do just a few steps.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me personally, it makes a huge difference. I feel, and it's also the way I feel inside. So I know that when I go on to Zoom and I've put myself together, I feel so much more confident. And, you know, that's really important in our world right now, is that, you know, we need to feel good inside so that we can really communicate all the amazing things we have to share with people, you know?
Yeah.
And especially when we're talking to each other through a computer.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not in person, so we don't have all the other little unspoken ways of communicating, even just the energy. Like, I love being around Michele, and I feel like we really feed off each other. But when we're not in the same room, we have to like create it even more.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would say for somebody who doesn't enjoy wearing makeup, who doesn't normally wear makeup, don't underestimate just like a swipe of a lip gloss or a lipstick and a little mascara, you know, just something to pop, just to liven up the face, to Heather's point, not because you're not beautiful as you are, but you do
Right.
feel more pulled together. And if it is a business thing, I believe in, putting on something that represents you in your best way and making that connection. And I think, yeah, I think it's really important. So this has been great. Now, Heather, if people want to find you, I know you're on Instagram. What's
Yes.
your handle there?
Beauty by Heather Arnold. That's my Instagram handle. So definitely, that's kind of the place where I post my work most frequently. I'm on there, daily. So I'm most active in that area. But I also have a website, and it's linked to my Instagram, but it's beautybyheatherarnold.com. So yeah, just you can DM me on my Instagram. There's also a contact page or contact me pop up on my website. So anyway, I'll know that you're reaching out and would love to help.
Yeah, for sure. Check Heather out if you enjoyed this.
And I do
value.
Zoom classes too. So if anyone just wants to learn how to do their makeup themselves,
Yeah.
I can do this same sort of thing, but I'll customize it. I'll give you a questionnaire ahead of time, find out exactly what you want to work on, give you a supply list, and we take it from there.
Awesome. And
Yeah.
if you want more tips and inspiration, especially if you're an entrepreneur or a businesswoman, I interview 7+ figure entrepreneurs on my podcast, leading experts, New York Times bestsellers on the show. So you can check that out on Apple Podcasts, wherever you check out your podcasts, at thegoodlifecoach.com. It's called thegoodlifecoach.com. Again, I'm Michele Lamoureux, and this has been Heather Arnold, and hope you had a good time with us today. We're so glad that you tuned in.
Thank you.